Good morning or pleasant day to each and everyone. We are now on week 3, quarter 4 in Mathematics 8, and our lesson is all about Hind's theorem and its converse. This is Mrs. Reina S. Corpus, Master Teacher 2 of Urdaneta City National High School. Now, did you know that hinge is a jointed or flexible device on which a door, lead, or other swinging part turns? They are used to fasten two things and allow adjustment, rotation, twisting, or pivoting. Here are some examples of hinges. We can find it on your elbow joint, the hinges that connect the two doors, the hinge that connect a pair of scissors, or the hinge that connect a swing. Okay, so that is a hinge. Now, our lesson for this week is on hinge theorem and its converse. And for this week, the most essential learning competencies are to illustrate the hinge theorem and its converse, apply this theorem to determine possible measures of sides and angles of triangles, and proves inequalities in triangle. So the Hinds theorem and its converse. For the Hinds theorem, it states that if two triangles have two sets of congruent sides, the larger included angle will have the longer third side. So Hinds theorem is also known as the SAS inequality theorem or the side angle side. So in our figure here, we have triangle PQR and triangle XYZ. The congruent sides are line segment PQ and line segment XY. Another, QR is also congruent to YZ. So these two triangles have two sets of congruent sides. But in here, the larger angle is the opposite the longer side. So in here, since angle Y is an obtuse angle and angle Q here is an acute angle, therefore, the longer side is XZ. XZ is longer than PR. So therefore, according to the Hinds theorem, since the angle opposite XZ, the longer side, is larger than angle Q, which is the opposite of PR. Okay? So the Hinds theorem states that, again, if the two sides of one triangle are congruent to two sides of another triangle, but the included angle of the first is greater than the included angle of the second, then the third side of the first triangle is longer than the third side of the second. So since angle Y is larger than angle Q, then XZ is greater than PR. Okay? Now we have the converse of the Hinds theorem. If the two sides of one triangle are congruent to the two sides of another triangle, and the third side in the first triangle is longer than the third side in the second triangle, then the included angle measure of the first triangle is greater than the included measure in the second angle. So, in our figure here, side JL is congruent to side PR, and side KL is also congruent to side QR. Okay? But PQ is greater than JK because the measure of PQ here is 12 and JK here is 8. So therefore, the measure of angle R is greater than the measure of angle L because the side opposite angle R, which is PQ, is longer than the side opposite angle L, which is JK. Okay, so that is the converse of the Hinds theorem. So in the Hinds theorem, it is also known as the SSS inequality theorem. While for the Hinds theorem, it is the SAS. Did you understand? So let us have the first activity in our example. The direction is you're going to give the corresponding congruent parts, then give the relation between the angles and sides. So in our example here, we have triangle box BOX and triangle JAY. So, what are the corresponding congruent parts? So, these are the parts with the same markings. So, BO or line segment BO is congruent to line segment JA. Okay? Another, OX is also congruent to AY. Okay. Obviously, triangle box is a right triangle and triangle J is an acute triangle. So, BX here is greater than JY. So, it is in the given. Now, which theorem is related to this one? We have the side the side BO congruent to side JA, OX congruent to AY, and BX is greater than JY. So therefore, if that is the case, since BX is longer than JY, the angle opposite BX is angle O, which is greater than the measure of angle A. Okay? So, what kind of theorem is it? So, since our given, you look at our given, are three sides, therefore, the answer is the converse of the hinge theorem or the SSS inequality theorem. Okay? If the given corresponding congruent parts are two sides and one angle is larger than the other, then your answer would be hinge theorem. But since our given here are three sides, two congruent pairs of sides, and one side is longer than the other, then our answer here is the converse of the hinge theorem. Did you understand? Okay. For activity 2, we have solved for the unknown, the direction, apply the hinge theorem and its converse to find the missing value of m. So in here, we have examples. This side is 2 units and this side is also 2 units. Okay? The other one are also 2 units. So we are going to find the value of m. So we have two sides and two sides which are congruent. Obviously, the first triangle is an obtuse triangle and the second triangle is right. Since the first triangle is obtuse and the second triangle is right, then we can say that the measure of 2m minus 6 is greater than the measure of m plus 2. Okay? Kasi mas malaki ang obtuse kaysa sa right. Okay? So, equating this, we have 2m minus m is greater than 2 plus 6. So, applying the addition property of equality, we add both sides 6. So, 2m minus m is m. 2 plus 6 is 8. Therefore, our value for m is greater than 8. So, will you give a number greater than 8? Example, 9. If we substitute, 2 times 9 is 18. Minus 6 is 12. Okay? While here, 9 plus 2 is 11. Therefore, our answer here is correct because 12 is greater than 11. Okay? So, ganyan lang gagawin yung activity 2. We are just going to find the value of M. Okay? For activity number 3. So direction, given two congruent parts of the triangles, prove the inequalities of sides and angles. So in here, we have the given triangle CAN and triangle LYT, where CA is congruent to LY, AN is congruent to YT, and angle A is greater than AY. So makikita dun sa activity sheet nyo yung triangle CAN and triangle LYT. We are going to prove if CN is greater than LT. So in here, we need to construct. Okay? So ipapakita ko yung construction. Dito, si AW, lagay ko, ito, si AW kinonstruct such that AW is congruent to AN and congruent also to YT. So let's assume na congruent si AN kay AW at kay YT. Okay? AW is between AC and AN. Saan si AN? Si AC and AN. Nasa gitna siya si AW. Between, sabi, hindi naman sinabing bisect. And angle CAW is also congruent to angle LYT. So for our proof, we have statements and reasons. Okay, from the illustration, CN is CN is congruent to CH plus HN. Now, for your reason, what kind of postulate is this? Is this angle or segment addition postulate? So, mamimili kayo dito ng word. Angle ba ito or segment? Okay? Kasi ang CN ay pinag-combine na CH plus HN. So, ang ilalagay niyong answer sa number 1, angle or segment. Okay? Number 2, CN also is congruent to CH plus WH. Bakit si WH? Kasi nabanggit natin kanina na ano yon, in triangle ay CH plus WH. Ang sabi natin kanina, pantay. Meron siyang kapantay. Si WH at saka si HN ay magkapantay. Okay? So, ang answer dito, anong property of equality ang ginamit? Na instead of HN, ang ginamit natin ay WH. Okay? So ito tsaka ito pareho yan. O anong property of equality yon? O ano yung mga properties of equality? Mamili kung transitive, substitution, addition, symmetric, o napag-aralan nyo na yung mga properties, piliin lang. So, sa number 2, instead na HN ang ginamit ay WH kasi parehas naman sila ng sukat. Okay, in number 3, in triangle CHW, ito, si WH ay greater than CW daw. Okay? So, anong inequality theorem ang binanggit? So, marami na kayong pinag-aralang inequality theorem. Mamili. Triangle inequality theorem ba yan? Exterior uh, angle theorem? Or anong inequality theorem yan? Mamili. Okay? Next. CN is blank CW. Ano ngayon ang relation ni CN kay CW? Kasi sinabi nyo na kapag inad si CH, pag pinagsama yung sukat ni CH at WH, mas malaki kay CW. Therefore, si CN, anong relation niya kay CW? O alalahanin nyo, ito kanina, katumbas niya si CN. So, anong property of equality na naman yan? Pinalitan lang yung instead na CH plus WH, ginawang CN. So, ang ilalagay dito, greater than ba siya or less than? Yan. Or equal. Okay, for our last statement, ano ngayon yung last statement na nilalagay natin palagi pag nag-prove tayo? Okay? Tignan nyo doon sa to prove. Then dito, anong property of equality? Kasi may nabanggit tayo kanina na itong angle CAW, CAW, ay kaparehas ni LYT. So therefore, kinu-compare natin dito ito at saka yang LT, parang ganon. Ano ang kapalit ni CN? So CN yan, anong kapalit niya dito sa triangle LYT? Okay? Huwag kayong mag-alala kasi kung ano yung salita nyo dito, pare-parehas lang yan. Okay? I hope na naintindihan nyo. So our grade 8 math team, we have Mr. Manny Ancheta, yours truly, Ma'am Paula Bianca Cruz, Ofelia B. Mapatak, Rowena Palaming, and Ma'am Mary Grace Talvo. And I will leave you with this quote for the day. The door to a balanced success opens widest on the hinges of hope and encouragement. So wag mag-alala, madali lang ang ating lesson. Enjoy learning math. Thank you very much and have a good day.